Hey YouTube, it's Marita and welcome to another edition of the Nurse Lounge. And in this edition, we're actually going to talk about the challenges that I'm having with people regarding having my doctorate while Black. Yes, another one. If you want to see what I'm talking about, please stay tuned. Welcome back. My name is Dr. Marita P. I'm a registered nurse. I've been a nurse for almost 17 years. OB/GYN, well baby, is my specialty. And let's see what else. Doctorate prepared, and I work at HBCU. Nurse educator. Teach at HBCU. So let's jump right on in. And just in case you didn't know, this is Nurses Week videos. Welcome to the Nurse Lounge, Nurses Week edition, where I do a video every single week, every single day of Nurses Week. So this is what I do every year. I do a video on different topics during Nurses Week. This is like the best week of the year for me regarding videos because I put one out every single day. But back to the topic at hand is the challenges that I am having with having my doctorate while being Black. And I think that's pretty much it. So let's jump right on in. So this is the thing right here. The first issue that I'm having is look at my face. Okay, besides the fact that you know this is Black, that's one thing. I don't look, most of the time people tell me I don't look my age. I just turned 43 like a few days ago. So I'm 43 years old. I have 4 kids. I have 4 degrees. I have all this other stuff going on, right? And on top of that, I am now doctorally prepared. I just graduated in 2020. There's a video on that way back in the day from last year. But the thing is, I look younger than what I am. And I'm a nurse educator, so that's something else that's different. Now, let me give you some data, okay, to help you understand why this is important. So, first of all, less than 3% of the U.S. population holds a doctoral degree. Less than 3%. So that means roughly 97-ish% of people in the United States do not have a doctoral degree. So I am already in a minority group anyway. On top of that, I'm in another minority group by being doctorally prepared while being Black. That statistic I don't have. I've been looking for that to know how many Black people or Black women specifically hold doctoral degrees. That I don't know. I'm looking that up. But I can guarantee you it's very far and few of us even still who hold that. Now, in academia, which is what I do, I teach, I'm a nurse educator. The average age of a professor is 65 years old. Professor is 65. The average age of an associate professor is 55 years old. So I am an associate professor, and just so you know, it comes in ranks. So you have assistant professor, you actually have instructor, assistant professor, associate professor, and then full professor. So I am one tier, whatever you want to call it, from being full professor. So I'm like the next one down. That's wonderful. So if the average associate professor is 55 and I'm only 43 and I was 42 when I got the degree, that tells you I'm already very, very young comparatively in education, comparatively to my counterparts who are much older. Now, as you know, in academia, majority of the instructors, professors, whatever, all of them, at all those ranks are mostly Caucasian. Why? Because for one, mostly Caucasian represent nurses, period, right? So roughly about 73 to 76% of the U.S. population of nurses, registered nurses, are Caucasian. So that's another issue we have. Another issue we have is the fact that specifically, or I think 12.5% of the U.S. population is Black. And in nursing, we only present like less than 10% of nurses who are Black in the U.S. So with that being said, the representation factor is an issue. We don't have enough people here who look like me, let alone as young as me, let alone who looks younger than what she really is, let alone who who is teaching, because a lot of people don't want to come into academia for various reasons. The money's not the same as it is on the clinical side. It has its perks, but it also has its drawbacks. So that's another issue. So I want to lay all that out for you so you have an understanding as to why this is an issue to begin with. So to all the Karens and Toms out there, because that's who I get it from, the Karens and the Toms. I don't really get it from my own people. Believe it or not, sometimes we can be the worst ones. But I get more support from them than I do from the Karens and the Toms who want to question my credentials. And when they want to question my credentials, and matter of fact, I may go ahead and screenshot some comments that were made. I may, if I can, from TikTok. So I got this issue from TikTok. And someone specifically asked me, have I had any problems with having a doctorate with people being either jealous or giving me a hard time? And I actually have, not a lot, but I actually have. So I want to kind of share that with you for anybody who's wanting to be in education, as well as anybody who wants to go on to get their doctoral degree in education and also happens to be a minority. This is something that you may face where you have your credentials questioned. So I had one comment who said that, you know, you are truly not a doctor because of the fact that you don't even know how to write your credentials, or if you work in a hospital setting, then you can't use your credentials there. Okay, I call him a Tom because he was a Tom. And anybody who's really named Tom, I'm not talking about you, it's just certain kinds of people, you know, Karens and Toms. So I'm talking about this particular guy because he wanted to try to come after me and attack me because of the fact that he was saying I did not represent myself well when I only had a master's degree. So I had to show him I actually have a doctoral degree. And I actually have a master's degree too, I have both of them. And I have people question my credentials. They're like, okay, well, you know, you can't even be a doctor because you're not a physician. Well, Tom, in this situation, no, I'm not a physician because, for one, physicians don't own the title of doctor. Doctor actually means the actual Latin, doctor in Latin means to teach, to be honest with you. And I happen to be a nurse educator with a doctorate. So actually, I fall right into it, Tom. And I do have the education and credentials to back up what I am. It's just funny to me how, because he was, he is ignorant, that he wants to try to call me out because he thinks that I don't know how to write my credentials. I was told that because of the fact that I was a minority, that there's no way that somebody gave me a degree. Karen, ain't nobody gave me nothing. Okay, ain't nobody gave me nothing, Karen. I earned my degrees just like everybody else earns their degrees. If anybody got given something, it's the Karens of the world who's been given something. We work hard for ours, but some of the Karens for the world, y'all giving y'all stuff because sometimes clearly I see that when I match degree for degree, when I match knowledge for knowledge, a lot of them are lacking. Okay, and you know what? This is my platform. I can say what I want to say. Now, let me preface this by saying this. I have no issues with any race of people, but I do not tolerate a group of people who don't look like me or who even look like me, who want to disrespect either the education that I have, disrespect me because of what I look like, that I can't help. None of us can help what we look like. We are the union of our father and our mother. That's why we look like we look. I'm the product of them. Can't help being black, nor can you help being the color that you are. So I wish we'd all understand that before we want to come and attack somebody. Another challenge that I'm having, or what people don't understand is, and this is not a challenge per se, but this is a question that was brought up on TikTok, and it was a great question. I'm not even trying to knock it. It was a great question, so I want to address it here too. And the question was, do my patients get confused if I'm working as a staff nurse? Why don't I use a doctor there, type of thing? Well, again, I'm going to address that here too. If I'm working as a staff nurse, as a registered nurse, I do not use the title of doctor because of the fact that it confuses the patient. They mentioned in the TikTok that it was misleading. I wouldn't say it's misleading. I would not use those words as misleading. It's confusing because I am not wrong for saying that I have a doctorate and for people to call me with my title. Now, at the bedside, again, I don't want to confuse my patients because lay people may or may not understand that we have different levels of nursing and that you can have a doctorate and not be a physician, and they don't understand that. So with that being said, I don't use my title at the bedside. But in academia, I do use my title. My colleagues as well as my students address me as Dr. Marita Pace Newburn or Dr. Pace Newburn or whatever they happen to say. But doctor is at the beginning of that. So that's something that you all have to be mindful of when you are working in certain practices. Now, for the people who are nurse practitioners who are having the same issues with your being called doctor in practice, you may be having issues when it comes to you being a nurse practitioner and your doctor such and such nurse practitioner versus the actual physician who is the MD, okay, or DO, whichever one they use. That is a conflict in itself. You have the right to call yourself doctor because you're doctorate prepared. They have the right to call themselves doctor because, of course, they have a medical degree, and that's the kind of degree they have there. That's the specialty that they chose, medicine. So I can see how it's confusing there, but I would not tell you as the NP to not use your doctor title. So that's an issue, again, that NPs have within themselves. So that's not my issue, but that is an issue that I could have if I was an NP. I'm a nurse educator, so therefore I can use my title freely in academia. But when it comes to the bedside as a bedside nurse, I would never, me personally, that's me personally, use my credentials. Now, if somebody had to walk by and say, hey, Dr. Pace Newburn or whatever, and I'm taking care of a patient, well, they could say that, but I would never require my patients to say that because, again, it is confusing to them. So hopefully that helps with that. In terms of any other confusion I have, it's not really much bad that I have, except for, like I said, there's people who are jealous of the fact that I have now achieved the highest degree in nursing. And so I have lost, I won't say friends, they're not even friends really. I just find it funny that the people that I had were associates at the hospital that I no longer speak to, or no longer speak to me, shall I say. But I have found that once you elevate, you do have to shed and let people go. So be mindful of that as well. As you elevate throughout life, there's going to be people that you have to let go and shed. And, they have their time with you. They either move up with you or they stay where they at and you keep moving. And for me, I had to keep on moving. I got things I got to do. There is no ceiling for me. There's only a floor, which means I can go as far as I want to go. There is nothing to say, okay, you know what? You've reached the top. You can stop now. No. I keep going until I'm gone, okay? I keep going until I'm gone. There's a floor, but there's no ceiling for me. My next thing that I'm working on next is my certifications, and they can be mad about that. Let them be mad about that. That's fine because I'm better in me. Okay, I'm better in me. So hopefully this provides you some insight. I'm not going through a whole lot with my doctorate, but I can definitely see where people are beginning to change and people are questioning my credentials and, oh, are you really this? Do you really have that? And da-da-da-da. Yeah, I got all that. I got all that, the degrees on the wall. I have the credentials. I'm good to go. You want to see transcripts? I got them. So anyway, thank you for watching this video on this Nurses Week. Follow me on TikTok, y'all. I'm on TikTok now. And I will say that I'm doing a lot of Q&As over there on TikTok. They'll put the question in and I'll do a video response to it. And that's where I'm getting some of these questions from is from TikTok. They ask some very good questions. And that's what kind of helped guide this Nurses Week series of videos is my TikTok. So you'll see TikTok on here. You'll also see my IG on here. Follow me on IG if you so choose. And comment, like, share, subscribe. And until the next time, you all take care. Bye-bye.